Hi, my name is Dr. Daniel Fox, I'm a licensed psychologist in the state of Texas, and in this video we're going to talk about BPD, borderline personality disorder, and managing the favorite person relationship. Now, relationships are central to all of us, but particularly for those along the borderline personality disorder spectrum. And this video is going to discuss the favorite person relationship and some of the inherent challenges and fears that come up in that relationship. And then I'll also give you some suggestions on how to best manage that relationship as well. So I hope you'll find this useful, and if you like it, please subscribe and let's get started. A favorite person is one or two individuals that you idealize, and you want to spend all of your time with this person. This could be a family member, a significant other, a friend, could even be a therapist. It could be a lot of different people in your life. Many individuals are sensitive about their relationship with their favorite person. If you can't get a hold of your favorite person, it tends to cause a lot of fear in the individual along the BPD spectrum. They become very anxious, very fearful that they can't get in touch with this person, something's happened to this person, that they've left them, that now the individual along the BPD spectrum has become irrelevant to their favorite person. You end up being on pins and needles to have access to them. You're very anxious and as to how are they doing, where are they, what is the relationship, and it kicks up all of these intensive fears and doubts that the individual along the BPD spectrum tends to have. Many people experience extreme jealousy, separation, approach and avoidance behaviors, like you want them close but not too close, but you want them far away but not too far away. And so it's this approach avoidance. You want them close but not close enough, but close enough that you feel connected. So it's an approach avoidance. There's also intensive tracking and monitoring of their favorite person, and they may be overly apologetic sometimes, and you'll do anything to maintain this relationship with your favorite person. Now, these behaviors often do the opposite of what you're trying to get, which is to keep your favorite person close, but instead, your favorite person ends up feeling pressured and they may need or demand distance. And it's important to remember that that favorite person relationship tends to put you in a dependency-based relationship, tends to be very dependent on that other person, not because of the behaviors of the other person or anything that person's doing, but because of the conceptualization of the relationship by the individual along the BPD spectrum. Now, you feel the need to be needed and accepted by this person. And for you to continue your sense of self, you need to have that acceptance from them. Or sometimes you feel like you need to have that favorite person in your life for you to even exist. This factors into that unstable self-image that we hear about with a lot of folks along the BPD spectrum, and that you may be experiencing as well. So as you try to sort of be a chameleon-like to them, as you try to adapt to them, you try to adjust to what they want or what you think they expect, that you try that and you try to interpret what you feel like they need and to connect to them at any given time so that they are happy. And because if you believe that if they are happy, then they will stay with you, and if they stay with you, then you'll be okay and you'll have a greater sense of self and understanding about yourself. This is actually contradictory because who you are and what you think and believe is actually enough for any relationship. But it's hard because I think a lot of folks along the BPD spectrum have a lot of doubt and a lot of concerns about who they are and about their own sense of self-worth. And that tends to be because your core content is telling you otherwise. It's telling you that you're not enough, that you are not good enough to be in this person's life, that you can't be of value to your favorite person. So you're always in that sense of in that turmoil and struggle to connect to that person. And perhaps you heard things similar growing up. You heard things that you didn't have value. You heard things that this person is better than you, or this person, is deserving of a better friend or a better whatever it may be than who you are and what you can provide in a relationship. But it's important to recognize that that internal message, it may feel true because it's been there for so long, but it's actually untrue. That you do have value, and that you do have value in your various relationships, and even with your identified favorite person. So if you're in a relationship and you have a favorite person, how do you manage it? First, you have to build a sense of self. So you have to learn about what makes you you. For example, right, if kick everybody out of your brain, right? Kick and all the answers and all the expectations. Kick that stuff out of your brain. And what I want you to do is I want you to think of what your favorite food is, what's your favorite color, what helps you relax, and what helps you feel good and what makes you proud of yourself. Think about it. Take a moment, answer those questions, kind of try to get some good ideas, give yourself some sense of who you are and what those values and beliefs are outside of everybody else. And this can be hard if you're really dependent on that favorite person and trying to please them. But you have to know who you are. It's so important to build that sense of self and self-understanding as to who you are. Now, these questions are designed to help you learn about yourself. If you don't know the answers, it's okay. Allow yourself to have some time. Allow yourself to think about it. You don't have to know right now. Building that sense of self takes a long time. And it's okay if it takes you a little while to figure out what your favorite color is or your favorite food is, because you've always been dependent on the feedback of your favorite person or of someone else. But it's important for you to start to define that sense of self for you. Now, the next one is for you to challenge those negative thoughts and assumptions of what that person is. In your mind, you may see that person as the end-all be-all of all people, that this is just this perfect, unflawed individual, and that there's no mistake that they can make, or that they're just this perfect representation. But it's important to remember that they are just a person, just like you. Now, your negative thoughts and assumptions, they're telling you otherwise, right? They're trying to tell you, no, you do need this person. You need the validation from this person for you to have a sense of value or a sense of self. But that isn't true. You can define these things for yourself. You don't need to have that person, but it's these negative thoughts and assumptions that keep you desperate for your favorite person. I'd like you to try to challenge those distorted beliefs. I want you to try doing more without the need for your favorite person. And I know that that's hard to do because that favorite person has been so central to how you conceptualize relationships or even yourself. But you have to try it. It's important to build that sense of self, to counteract those negative thoughts that keep you stuck in this borderline personality disorder cycle. And it might be scary at first, and that's understandable because it's scary for a lot of people. But it's something that takes time in building the sense of self and also sort of confronting those negative assumptions. And the last one that we're going to talk about, this is the cost and benefit relationship analysis. And I think it's important to do cost and benefit relationships analysis with all your relationships from time to time. But when you do it, it's important to be as objective as you possibly can. So ask yourself, in regards to your favorite person, what does he or she bring to the relationship? What do you bring to the relationship? And then what's healthy and what's unhealthy? Right? What helps you move forward? What helps you feel good about yourself? What perhaps makes you feel bad about yourself? It's also important to identify both sides of that spectrum, of that side of that coin. And then what do you get out of the relationship? What does the relationship do for you? What does it give for you? Okay, that helps you or hurts you? The answers to these things, it's helpful if it's clear and concrete. And so it can't be something general, such as, well, this person makes me happy, or, he or she loves me the way no one else does. It can't be general like that. They need to be specific and concrete because it's defining this. What that does is it helps you discern more about the relationships, gives you those key components associated to those relationships that help you understand it. So please remember that you do have value, and it's understandable. A lot of folks along the borderline personality disorder spectrum have a favorite person, but managing that relationship is important. Building your sense of self is also important, and I hope that this video has added some clarification to that relationship, and I hope that it's helped you. Please leave any comments or feedback that you might have. I always appreciate those, and thank you very much for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.